This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutastrophe. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, January the 12th, is an icon in baseball. He was a left-handed pitcher that was known for his weird delivery and all that. He would play for Florida, Detroit, Arizona, and Cincy in the major leagues. He was known for the high leg kick, making people remember the days of Juan Marichal, and would twist away from the batter, kind of like Fernando Valenzuela. He's a National Rookie of the Year. He is a part of the broadcast team for the LA Dodgers. He is 42 years old today. He is Dontrelle Willis. Dontrelle was raised by his mom, as he never knew his father. Dontrelle was in the LA area and naturally would cheer for the Oakland A's, saying that Dave Stewart was his favorite Oakland A. In high school, he looked pretty good. He was named California Player of the Year in 2000. He was committed to play college baseball at Arizona State, a fine university when it comes to college baseball, but changed his mind when the Cubs drafted him in the 8th round of the 2000 baseball draft. He would be moving up to the Northwest, and, he looked pretty good. But the Cubs would make a big trade to the Marlins, sending Dontrelle, Julio Tavares, and a few minor leaguers to Florida for Matt Clement and Antonio Alfonseca, which was huge because the Cubs wanted to bolster the bullpen and get rid of their prospect Willis. Willis had struggled being traded, but as he got to low Class A ball, he looked pretty impressive and went to Class A and was the Midwest League Pitcher of the Year. In spring training, he reported to Jupiter to play Class AA with Carolina. Well, he went to Jupiter, and then the plan was to make him to AA with Carolina, and then make the leap to AAA, and maybe get to the bullpen by the late in the season. He was pretty good and all that, but by May 9th, the Marlins decided, hey, let's give him a chance to pitch, and he did. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, got a no decision against the Rockies. Against the Padres, he gave up 3 runs in 5 innings, but was enough for the Marlins to win the game and to give him a W. Dontrelle would pitch against one of his childhood heroes, Tom Glavine, in a game June 16, 2003, in a 1-0 win over the Mets for a shutout. Dontrelle was named NL Rookie of the Month for June 2003, and he was Pitcher of the Month too, because he was 5-0 in 5 starts with a 1.04 ERA in the month of June. In July, he was 9-1 with a 2.08 ERA in 13 starts. He made the NL All-Star team only because Kevin Brown was injured and couldn't pitch, so Willis got in, and he made the All-Star team. Dontrelle would start Game 4 of the NLDS against the Giants, which was huge. In 5 1/3 innings, he gave up 5 runs. However, thanks to his hitting, including a triple, which was shocking for a lot of people, by pitchers hitting a triple, the Marlins won the game 7-6. In that Game 4, that was famous for the Giants going for the tying run, and then Pudge Rodriguez getting in that collision, but still hanging on to the ball and giving the Marlins, the wildcard Marlins, a trip to the NLCS against the Cubs. The Cubs had drafted Dontrelle, which was the shocking part. In Game 4, Dontrelle pitched on home turf, and in 2 1/3 innings pitched, he gave up 3 hits and 5 walks, got the loss, and that was when the Cubs were up 3-1, and they just needed 1 win to go on to the World Series for the first time in 58 years, at the time, of course. But didn't work. In relief, he was in Game 6, giving up a run in 1 inning relief. I think that was the 3rd run of Game 6. That saw the Cubs take a 3-0 lead and look good and prematurely get to the World Series, but by the 8th inning, it all went for shit. He was part of the Marlins team that shocked the Cubs, winning that NLCS, and then the Marlins won the World Series. So in his first year, he got named Rookie of the Year, going 14-6 with a 3.30 ERA and a World Series ring. In 2004, he looked impressive again. In his first 2 starts pitching, he went 6 for 6 batting with a home run. And got 7 consecutive hits, which was actually close to the Marlins record. It was amazing how Dontrelle could get hits and all that. Unfortunately for him, the hits didn't happen in 2004 as he went 10-11 with a 4 ERA. However, in April, he was 5-0 in 5 starts, named NL Pitcher of the Month. So he had such great starts and all that. He went 13-4 before the All-Star break. And after the All-Star break, he was 9-6. As the rest of the season just didn't work out, as he would struggle. But the fact of the matter is he did get to 22 wins. And became the first African-American pitcher since Dave Stewart in 1990 to win 20 games. It took a long time to do so. With 22 wins, it was the most in all of baseball. He also threw 7 complete games and 5 shutouts. So logically, you think, well, Dontrelle is the Cy Young champion of 2005, right? Wrong. Somehow, in some way, he lost to Chris Carpenter of the Cardinals. Former Blue Jay Chris Carpenter. 106. He didn't start off that great. Usually he starts off his seasons well. But he started off 1-6, which was not Dontrelle-like. He put up 12 wins, though, in that season. He hit a grand slam off Jose Lima July 7, 2006, becoming the first pitcher at the time in 4 years to do so. He hit 2 home runs in 1 game in September 2006. Dontrelle would sign a 1-year deal with the Marlins fighting arbitration for $6 million, but he went 10-15. The Marlins decided to trade him to Detroit for Andrew Miller, Cam Maben, and 4 prospects. But what people forget about this is Dontrelle, the Dontrelle deal was actually the deal that also sent Miguel Cabrera from Florida to Detroit. People forget that Cabrera was with the Marlins at that time in like 07 and was part of the 03 Marlins team that won the World Series. So anyway, Willis would sign a 3-year, $29 million contract. And unfortunately, injuries would plague him and all that. So he was... and all that. Dontrelle went down to the minors and could have used enough time to veto the stand-down, but he said he needed it. So when the roster was expanded September 2008, he actually did so. Unfortunately, 3 starts in September, he was 0-2 with a 9.17 ERA, so something was off. And then he had an anxiety disorder in 2009 when a blood test showed something of concern. So he would have a treatment regimen aimed at addressing the condition. Unfortunately, he would be 1-4 with a 7.49 ERA and practically didn't pitch for the Tigers. But spring training 2010, he was back in the starting rotation and figured he would be okay. Unfortunately for him, he was designated for assignment by the Tigers. So in his career with the Tigers, he was 2-8 with a 6.86 ERA. So practically, that was not the right move, as the Tigers got bit on Dontrelle Willis. The good news for the Tigers is they didn't get bit on Miguel Cabrera, who ended up being one of the most legendary Tigers of all time. So June 1st, 2010, the Tigers decided to trade him to Arizona. And he would wear 35 for the Diamondbacks. He did okay in his Diamondback debut and all that. Unfortunately, he cracked a fingernail during a game and had to be removed. In 5 starts with the Diamondbacks, he was 1-1 with a 6.85 ERA. He would be subsequently released, and San Fran signed him to a minor league deal. Didn't play for the Giants at all. The Reds decided to sign him to a minor league deal and invited to be part of spring training. He went to AAA in the 2011 season, and then Dontrelle was called up on July 10th and would make his Reds debut against Milwaukee, giving up a few runs in 6 innings. He looked decent and all that for Cincy. And all that. December 2011, he was given a 1-year deal with the Phillies and looked like he was going to pitch out of the bullpen, but that didn't work out. He was released by the Phillies, and then he signed a minor league deal with the Orioles, having a forearm issue. But on July 2nd, 2012, he announced his retirement before signing a minor league deal with the Cubs in 2013, but the Cubs released him, and he went to the Atlantic League. He was signed a couple of minor league deals after that, but nothing happened. He didn't get up to the majors. But regardless of that, he was named NL Rookie of the Year in 2003, NL All-Star in 2003 and 2005. Almost won the Cy Young in 2005, losing to Chris Carpenter. Became the first Marlin to 20 wins in 2005. Became the third pitcher ever to win 20 games and collect 20 hits in the same season. Was part of the United States team in the inaugural World Baseball Classic in 2007, but that was not good. And hit a grand slam and 2 home runs in 1 game. Anyway, he married his wife and now have 4 daughters and all that, which is pretty impressive, to say the least. But the fact of the matter is, Dontrelle Willis was a breakout star for Florida, but after Florida, he lost the magic that led him to say, "What you talking about, Willis?" I had to do it. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do.